cheers. Happy Wednesday and welcome to Trades Lady Happy Hour, your weekly Instagram podcast, whatever we want to call this, where each week you get to meet another awesome woman in the trades. If you don't know me, I am your host, Bogi, and I am very excited this week to be joined by an incredibly talented woman. She was very heavily involved in the all-female build. I had the honor and the pleasure of working with her several times over the course of the build and getting to know her a little bit. And tonight I get to learn more about her story, because most of the time on the build we're just working away and I don't actually get to learn all that much about all of the ladies who are out there. But I'm very excited to be joined by Monica. She is an absolute hoot. Tonight's guest is Monica Baeza. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm notoriously bad at mangling last names, but fingers crossed, hopefully I got that one this time. Monica is a heavy-duty technician, heavy equipment technician. She is a lead technician. She also teaches automotive mechanics at night at a community college. So she is just doing a little bit of all of the things. She has a background in collision as well. So she's been in a number of different areas of the automotive industry. I'm really excited to hear her story and hear more about her journey and how she found her way to where she is. So I do want to thank you guys for tuning in and coming back every week to meet all of these incredible women. It's just so important that these amazing women who are out there kicking butt every day in the trades get the recognition, get the praise, get the love that they deserve. Women make up such a small percentage of trades folks across the trades. Crazy cats, sorry. Across the trades, it's under 10%. In many trades, it's about 2 to 3%. In automotive technicians, it's about 2.5%, a little bit less than that. So not a whole heck of a lot percentage-wise, but there are thousands of incredibly fierce, incredibly talented, I said talented twice. They are incredibly talented, incredibly inspiring women out there doing wonderful work every day. So this show is all about celebrating them. And so I thank you guys for supporting it and for tuning in. It is very near and dear to my heart as a project. So I also want to thank Drive Time for being an incredible sponsor. Not only are they a huge supporter of trades women, they have partnered with me on Trades Lady Happy Hour. They were a supporter of the build as well. And it's just great to have corporate partnership. Really more and more stepping up. Corporations are saying, yes, this is an issue. Yes, we do care about this. It's something we want to talk about, and that needs to be elevated in the conversation. So thank you guys. You are all amazing. And without further ado, I'm going to grab Monica and get her to join in on this.
I think I might.
Oh, oh yay!
Miracle.
Hallelujah.
Took a little help from my wife, but we got it.
Yay, wife. Cheers.
Yes.
What are you sipping on, my dear?
My Hibiki.
Hibiki.
Whiskey.
Oh, nice. Very good. Mine's not so fancy, but it is in a cool girl gang glass.
Oh, that is cool. You gotta get one of those sometime.
Oh, you're gonna get one. That's the thank you gift for being a guest on Happy Hour. Funny how that happens.
Oh, yay!
So you too will have your very own in a very short amount of time.
Awesome. I'm excited.
So dear, thank you for agreeing to do this. I know you were a little hesitant at first, but we have a way of convincing people.
Yeah, you do. And a way of like keeping people there and extending their flights.
Hey, you're lucky. We got you to only extend your flight like a day. Like some people we've managed to extend for like a week or more. Like you got out. You were strong-willed. We tried. It was not for lack of trying.
No, for sure not.
So Monica has been out on the all-female build, 3 or 4 times, I think?
I think 4 times, yeah.
I think so. Took part in the Fusion 360 CAD class that we had, and then we sucked her in and kept her coming back. Monica was single-handedly responsible for for basically designing the entire fuel system on the car. I know, craziness. I tasked her, poor thing, with figuring out how to eliminate part of the evaporative emission control system and figure out how to make it all still work and make a new design for a new fuel tank and route all the things. And she handled it masterfully. There's pictures online. Maybe I'll post them up again later about the fuel tank that she designed and is now in the flesh a real fuel tank. So very cool accomplishment. Very talented woman. But tell everybody what it is you do professionally in your day-to-day life.
So I am a heavy equipment mechanic lead worker. That's my full-time gig.
And who do you do this for? What kind of company?
It's for the state for Caltrans, Department of Transportation.
Okay. So what kind of vehicles are you working on mostly?
Mostly heavy duty international trucks.
Okay.
But we have like a variety of everything in our fleet. Everything from a little Prius, even the Toyota Mirais, all the way up to off-highway vehicles like graders, loaders, grinders, um,
Wow.
chippers. So like there's like everything in it.
Intense. So you're constantly like every day is kind of different, huh?
Yeah, it is because now that I'm a lead worker, not a mechanic, it's kind of like I'm in charge of overseeing the shop
Okay.
and make sure the flow and the everyday stuff runs smoothly.
You just took that position on relatively recently, right?
Yeah, it's almost, well, it's been like 8 months now.
Okay. How are you
Yeah.
liking the transition?
I like it. It's definitely like a different kind of challenge. It's more of like a leadership role. Like I'm learning how to navigate that, and I'm like super excited about the new challenge of it. Um, and just kind of like stepping into my own and like gaining more confidence in what I do is like super cool.
I love it. I love it. How long have you been with Caltrans?
I've been there 6 years. I went through my apprenticeship through them.
Okay. So let's go. That's a long time to be with one company. Let's go back in time. Let's hear how you got started down this path and how you wound up as a lead mechanic, as a lead technician at Caltrans. Where did this all start for you?
Well, it definitely started growing up hanging around my dad. Like my dad was a machinist, and in like my head, he could do everything. Like he could fix all the house, like he could do anything to a car, he could make me anything. Like, and that's kind of where I started. I used to like do simple things like oil changes and spark plugs with him, and then he would sit and try to explain things to me. Uh, and then it was kind of cool, and then that's how I like first got into it.
Was there ever any question or any hesitation in teaching you as his daughter, or was it just, of course, he would teach you?
I want to say no. Like I was like his little buddy. Like I was the youngest,
I
and
love
like I always hung around him. And no, there was no like, oh, you can't do this because you're my daughter. You're not supposed to do this. It's like, hey, I have this like cool trade. Let me show you something about it. He's like, I was like, oh, I want this. He's like, no, we can make that. And like
that's
all my school projects were like amazing because everything I had to do, it's like, I remember in seventh grade, I had to have this like shield for some kind of class for project in English. And
Mhm.
he made this like amazing shield out of wood, and it was all like just super nice.
That's
And like
awesome.
I just remember everything, all my kind of projects I had, I always went to him and he helped me out.
That's
So
awesome.
that's like how I first started like falling in love with like working with my hands.
How many siblings do you have?
I had two sisters, they're twins.
Did
Yeah.
they have any interest, or were you the first in the family to show interest?
No, I was the only one, I think.
So that was probably super stoked to have somebody who wanted to know and learn from him.
Yeah, it was. I just remember like on the weekends going to his work. Like he was a machinist, worked at UC Berkeley, and
Okay.
it was just so cool. Like there was all these machines, and I don't know. I kind of fell in love with it. Like I would like I couldn't weld with him, but I would see him like from the window welding in the backyard. My mom's like, "No, it's too dangerous. You can't do that yet." And I was like, "What?"
Was there ever any question that you wanted to follow in his footsteps in some form or another? Did you ever think about going a different path, or was it pretty clear your whole life?
No, well, I had no idea I actually wanted to go into automotive.
Okay.
Like I knew it was like a fun hobby. But like my first thing I wanted to do was like be an artist. Like I love being creative and drawing. And then I kind of told my mom that. She's like, no, there's no money in that. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, it explains why you did such a good job on the fuel tank with your drawing
Right?
skills.
Thank you.
All right. So, okay. So, what kind of artist did you want to be? I'm so curious.
Um, I don't know. Just I like to draw things and like painting. I was just getting into like acrylics.
I love it. Do you still do art?
No, but I want to get back into it. Like I feel like I need to. I feel like something creative is missing. And when I went to Phoenix, I feel like that was kind of fulfilled. And I was
Mm,
like, oh, I was like, I need to figure out how to create that in my life, like in an everyday situation.
I like
So,
that. Oh, good. That makes my heart happy to hear. I'm excited. You made something for me.
I know, I will.
Challenge is on.
Ah, Bogi and challenges.
You'll resist them at first, but you'll thank me for them later.
I do actually. Like, I thought, no way I'm going to do this fuel system. I'm like, you are crazy out of your mind.
I'm only.
Um, but it happened.
It did, and you killed it.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm so like proud of that. I'm so excited.
As you should be, as you should be. I still owe you pictures of that, by the way. That just reminded me. But anywho, we've gotten off
Oh,
track. So, okay, so you wanted to be an artist. Mom said,
yeah.
"Nah, girl, you're not going to make any money doing that." So, what what was next in the thought process then?
I don't know. I wanted to do something like science-y. Because my
Inter-
mom worked for the state, so she worked for the Department of Health Services. So there was a bunch of scientists around her all the time. I was like, oh, this is cool.
okay.
And then I got into auto shop in high school, and I'm like, this is super fun. And then my dad got really sick, so then he ended up passing away. And then I ended up going to college, community college. And then I was like, what the hell am I gonna do? I was like, I have no idea what I'm gonna do. I was like, it was just life was too busy for like a career plan at that point.
Yeah.
And then in high school, I had this part-time job at a dry cleaners,
Okay.
and this guy I was working with was taking a night class at the college, a collision repair class, and he was telling me how hard it was, and I was like, nah. I was like, mechanics is way harder than collision. I was like, I don't believe you. He's like, take the class then, and I was like, what? I was like, okay. So I took the class,
Okay. So
and
this has been a theme in your life. Challenges work for you. This is good to know because that was a challenge.
it was. It's like when someone tells me no, I kind of think I think about it for a bit. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe they're right. I was like, no, they're not. I was like, let me see for myself.
So on a whim and on a challenge, you enrolled in a collision program, is what you're telling me.
Yeah,
Okay.
a night class. And
Okay.
then I met the instructor, Mr. Locke. Oh my, he was like amazing. He's like one of my best mentors in life. And I was like, I love this so much. I have to do the daytime class. This is like when I already graduated. I was like, I took a year off of college. I didn't know what I was going to do. And I told my mom, I was like, I want to pursue this. She's like, well, she's like, it's going to be hard for you as a woman in the industry. She's like, you have to get like a state job. So my parents were both like state workers, university workers. So she's like, you have to go one of those. You have to get a pension. You have to get a retirement. You got to think long term. You got to get your benefits when you retire. So that was instilled in me in a very young age.
All very
So,
pragmatic, very good advice.
right. And then she met Mr. Locke, and she realized there's good people in the industry. And then she met Gigi Walker, which was the first shop that I worked at in Collision. And she was a woman-owned business.
Nice.
And the painters are both women, and the body techs are men. But
What?
she met Gigi and was like, "Oh, okay." She's like, "Seems like I see another woman, so it's okay."
How interesting.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So, how did you wind up in, did you seek that out, a female-owned collision shop, or did that just, was that
Um,
accidental?
no, I met her through Mr. Locke.
Okay.
And there was, I think at the time when I started uh, class, there's only, or when I started the program, there's only one other woman with me.
Okay.
No, there was no women. And then my last year, there was another woman. Actually, the guy at the dry cleaner's sister took the class,
Oh,
took
how
the
fun.
program. Yeah.
I love that.
So she was in there. But he's like, you have to meet Gigi. She's super cool. And I met her and I was like volunteering there for like a while. And I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, and then she offered me a job and I was like, all right. I was like, I'll give this a try, see what happens.
I love it. How incredible. Do you feel like that made a difference in your career, like starting out with that kind of supportive environment, like being in a
I
own shop?
I think it did only because I think it mattered to my mom.
Mm,
And like I wanted to make sure my mom was okay with it because it just I don't know, like I never wanted to upset my mom.
yeah.
So as long as now that I got her blessing that it was okay, I was like, oh, I'm gonna go with this and see what it's like. I think it definitely made it easier.
Yeah. How I want to ask, I know we've got AZ Mike the Welder asked about mentors, and so I want to spend a moment talking about your mentor, if you don't mind. What was it about this mentor, that Mr. Locke, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. What was it about him that made him such a great mentor for folks out there who are looking to be better mentors or have the opportunity to be mentors? What is it about Mr. Locke that made him so amazing?
He's just like, and I think it too that I just lost my dad.
Mm.
So not that I was looking for a father figure, but he was just so nice. Like he like totally believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. And I was like, oh my God. And he was just so kind. Like I was like, I don't know if I can do that. He's like, yeah, come on, you can do it. And I was all in it. Like I was the person that was like in front of the class, not in front of the class, but sitting in front row. Like the only class I was like ever on time to. The only class I showed up every day. Like I was just, he just made it so exciting and fun.
I love that. That's just a powerful statement right there. Like he believed in me when I didn't. Is like that. That
Yeah,
says that says it all right there.
it does. And it's funny because I find myself now like doing that for other people. I mean, I'm
Mm,
always going to cheer for other people, but it's such a good feeling like being able to see that person when they do something they don't think they can and it clicks in their head and they do it and they're like, oh my God. Like it happens at work a lot. And I'm like, you can totally do that. They're like, oh, I never worked on this. I was like, it's fine. We'll figure it out. We'll work on it together. And then they're like so excited they got that experience to learn like a piece of new equipment.
yeah,
It's pretty cool.
I love it. So why did you not stick with Collision? Was there something about Collision that wasn't sitting right for you? Tell me about how that transition happened.
No, I mean, excuse me. Man, I got super sick after SEMA. I'm
Me too.
recovering still.
Oh, was it the vid?
No, it was like the flu,
Yeah.
but
That
it
was,
had me down for like a week.
yeah. Me too. I came home from SEMA and it was like the very next day I had a 102 fever and
Yeah.
I was like so achy and I thought I was just sore and tired. And then like that night I was like, this is not normal sore tired. This is like I'm dying.
Yeah, that's how I felt. I was like freezing and I'm never cold. I was like, this is all bad.
Oh, I'm so sorry you got so sick, but I'm glad you're feeling better.
Thank you. I'm glad you're feeling better as well.
Yes, indeed.
Oh,
So
by the way,
okay,
I forgot to
so
tell you. Wait. I forgot to say, the Washington Post Global Women's Summit. Awesome. Congratulations, job.
Thank
I
you. I
watched
appreciate
it. I
that.
loved it.
Thank you. Thank you.
It
That
was
was
so good.
a surreal experience. It was just absolutely like, yeah.
It was amazing. You killed it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It was
You're
a
welcome.
very short amount of time to try to get in a lot of stuff.
Hey, you got your point across though. It was
Thank you.
good.
I'm glad. I'm glad.
I liked it. This is my practice when I get to do one for me one day.
What's that?
I said this is my practice if I ever get to do one day.
There you go. You will. You will. If not that event, something similar, equally awesome or more awesome. All right. So, getting
Okay,
back.
Fortune.
Don't get distracted from the question.
Where is it?
Um, collision to you went from collision to heavy duty. Did you go directly from
No,
to heavy equipment?
I went from collision to light duty
To what?
to light duty
Light
or
duty.
like automotive. Yeah.
Okay. How and why?
Well, it was like I was at the body shop and it was during the recession, so I kept getting laid off. Then I would come back to work and get laid off. Nothing of their own. I still love them. Like they're still my family. Um, but then during that time, my mom got sick. Then my mom passed away,
Oh,
and I
geez.
was like, oh, okay. So when that happened, it was kind of like, okay, let me start something else. I was like, now I'm on my own. I need a job with retirement and benefits.
Got mom's voice in your
I
head.
just, I was like, I gotta get a job that has a pension. So I looked for a job, a state job that I could kind of um, apply to, and maintenance worker for CH3 was kind of like the closest one.
Okay.
Which, with my automotive background in collision, I was able to like create my own position as like a mechanic helper.
Okay.
So that was kind of cool. My sergeant believed in me and kind of gave me that shot. Um, so I kind of got to write my own script a little bit, but it was
That's
so
awesome.
cool. It was like the best job in the world.
Tell me
Uh,
why.
it was like a cool little family. Like I'm all about like having everyone feel included, and that I felt that there.
Mm.
But as soon as I got there, like within 6 months, they're like, "You're not going to stay in this position." I was like, "You never know." They're like, "No, you're going to go on to do other things, and that's okay."
Interesting.
I was like,
Inter-
"Okay, cool." So my path was to become an auto tech.
okay.
But then another promotion came up for a commercial vehicle inspector.
Okay.
That's like, you ever see the scales like on the side of the road,
Yeah.
like commercial scales?
Yeah.
So I inspected the trucks in those scales.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that was my next promotion to do
Okay.
that. So that's how I kind of got the heavy duty bug.
And what was it about heavy duty that grabbed you?
One, I thought I was super badass.
It is.
Like I'm this like massive 5'2" person. So I was like, this is cool. This little person working on this big equipment. And also the pay. Everywhere I looked, it was slightly higher than light duty.
Okay.
So I worked there for 2 years. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I got to learn all the regulations, which I'm weirdly like fascinated about. Like it oddly, like I almost thought about working for OSHA, but I was
Okay.
like, no. I was like, at the scales, no one likes you because no one wants to come in there.
Right.
You
Everybody hates
know,
you.
everyone does. I was like, I am just trying to do my job to make sure these vehicles are safe on the road for California residents. Like that's all I'm trying to do. But so that kind of didn't work out. But then I kind of like after about a year and a half, I kind of get this itch where it's like, okay, what now? Like I got to move on to something else.
Okay.
Not that I wasn't fulfilled. It's just like I needed something more, like more of a challenge. So I was so close to going to UTI for the program, the heavy duty program. But I was like, there's no way I have that kind of money. Like I'm gonna be in debt. like the rest of my life in my head. And I was like, no. I was like, I can't do that. And then like searching through jobs on my graveyard shift, I found the apprentice program. And I was like, cool. I was like, it's with the state. I can keep my state years, add them to my retirement. And it's a win-win,
I see your mom smiling right now.
right? Oh my God, she would be so jazzed. She's like, yes, you kindly listen to me.
Yes, she got into your head, and you're like, all right, pension, retirement.
Right? Um,
So it was a formal apprenticeship program that they had set up?
yeah, a it was a 4-year program they condensed into 3 years.
Okay.
And it was like, I don't know, like 5,300 hours I had to complete.
How much?
5,300 hours, like
Oh, wow.
5,300.
Okay.
Yeah, and all these like separate categories.
Okay.
So
That sounds like an intense program.
yeah, um it was pretty intense. Like I would work all day. And every month we would have a chapter. Like it was at like you take home homework.
Okay.
Um and then every month you would have a test. And then every 6 months you would have like a like 6 chapter review test.
Okay.
And then get a pay bump and then continue it until the 3 years
Nice.
were up.
Is that like a California wide thing, or your city, or just
No, it's a
this particular um I guess department?
yeah, it's a particular department, but it's statewide.
Okay.
So Caltrans has locations everywhere in the state. That's another good thing like I liked about working with the state is I could get up and go anywhere in the state. So because I had this thing, I was like gonna get up and move and go do something. I was like, no, I'm not gonna do it. I was like, I'm gonna stay right here. It's fine.
So you said a 3-year program. It was basically like you were going to school and working simultaneously.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot of reading, a lot of like homework tests. Um, and it was cool though. I got like a really great mentor mechanic that happened to start 1 month after me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I was so lucky to get him. I've definitely learned a lot from him, and I think it would have shaped me differently if I wasn't able to work with him.
Interesting. Okay, so again, tell us what made him such a great mentor.
He was super knowledgeable, and if he didn't know anything, he would tell me. He wouldn't try to fake his way through it. Um, but he like respected me, and he's like, when I first got in there, and like my first 6 months, I was like, "There's no way I'm gonna learn all this stuff." He's like, "Yeah, you will." He's like, "All the engines are the same; they just have slightly different components." He's like, "You're doing fine. You're doing great." He's But he always was there to encourage me, and he would always like in the beginning I needed not that I need a lot of hand holding, but I like to observe things, and then when I feel like I'm just a little bit uncomfortable, I'll go. Um, so he let me kind of do that and kind of could read when to help me, when not to help me. But he just wanted to make sure I did things the right way, and which I think was really good. And I also taught a lot of the mechanics, the regulation side of it. So I had something to bring to them.
Nice.
So it was kind of cool. I would have a question on how to do something, and then I could give them information, like about a vehicle code or a violation that they might not have known about.
Interesting. So from your previous experience, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. Is this a program that you would recommend to others to pursue?
I definitely would. I mean, it's a good program. Like anything, it has its flaws. You know, it could be better. Um, but I think it's all up to the person in the apprenticeship. But I mean, I think that's anywhere. Like it's up to the person when you get a job. It's like up to you how much you want to put into it, how much for yourself you want to learn, how better you want to get as a technician, or if you're just satisfied coasting,
Yeah.
you know. And unfortunately, I've never been one to be satisfied coasting.
Did you say unfortunately? I think
Yeah,
that's a fortunately.
right.
Fortunately, you've never been one to be
Fortunately,
coasting. You're too good for that.
yeah.
So,
Um,
so you did 3 years with the apprenticeship, and then you've stayed there.
yeah, I stayed in the same shop. Well, it was interesting too because I kind of finished early, but I had to say an apprentice. I finished 3 months early with all
Okay,
my time.
of course you did.
Yeah. And then I was able to go to a field location on my own
Oh,
to run the field location,
like
which,
straight out of the program, they have you running
yeah,
your location.
yeah.
No big
Not, no,
deal.
honest,
I love that you say that like it ain't no big thing.
right? Well, I was like terrified at first. My supervisor was like, hey, the superintendent wants to know if you want to go help out in Hercules. And it was closer to my house. He's like, oh, because this mechanic's going to be out for a while. And I was like, I don't know. They're like, oh, you'll be fine. You'll do great. Like, call us up if you need anything. It's fine. I was like, I don't know. And I went out there and it was so much fun. It was like, I got along with everybody. Everyone loved me. I was getting all the stuff done. Um, it was just cool. Like, I made a lot of good networking connections um, that I wouldn't have had if I didn't take that chance and go out there. But it's like, once again, someone like believed in me that I could do it. And I was like, I don't know. But I was like, whatever, I'm going to sit my uncomfortableness and go do it.
Was there, did you hesitate? Like, did you consider not doing it? Like, or did you just, were you like, yeah, sign me up. Let's go.
Oh no, I considered not doing it. I was, I think my biggest thing was like failing because I was like, I still have this like apprenticeship mentality. Like, I'm this apprentice. Like, what are you talking about? These people have like so many years over me. Like, what if I get into something I don't know? Ah! Like, I had all these doubts of myself. And then I was like, no, I was like, you know what? If I turn this down, they might not give me another opportunity. And I was like, I'm going to take it. And if I fail, I fail, but I tried. So it worked out really good though. I had the superintendent from that facility like write this like super nice letter that went into my little folder. It was so nice.
That's
It was
awesome.
cool. Yeah.
And how
Although I didn't like working by myself though.
didn't,
I learned that quick.
okay. So you were at this facility mostly by yourself? Is that
Yeah.
okay? So how long were you there for?
I was on there for 4 months.
Okay.
So,
And then you wanted to get back to working with a team?
well, it's not that I wanted to. It's just that that location's only made for one mechanic.
Oh, okay.
And there was already a mechanic assigned there, and I knew I wasn't going to stay there. But it was cool. I kind of like helped him out and reorganized the shop, cleaned it, got all the inventory order and up to date, got all the vehicles up to date.
Nice.
Um, so it was good. I left it. I always want to try to leave something better than I found it. And just to help him out too. Like
Yeah.
I knew it'd be rough coming back.
So your fears were that you were still in apprentice mindset, and what if you encountered something you didn't know? Um, how many of those fears were true, and how did you handle things if that came up?
Um, I, to be honest, I don't think they were ever true. I think I just doubted myself. Like I would always want somebody else to be like, well, I would call up my mentor mechanic or like another. All the mechanics at the shop helped me and like loved me, right? So I knew I could call any of them up to help me out. So I would call them up and be like, hey, I'm gonna do this. Is this okay? How you do this? And they're like, yeah, that's fine. It's okay. I was like, I was like, I'm just checking.
All right. Awesome. That's so cool. Did you like, are you just now having that realization that those fears that you had weren't true at all?
I'm definitely having them. No, I mean, it's my confidence has definitely built up recently, but I I wanted to prove to myself that I could make it in the shop where I wasn't still seen as the apprentice. I mean, not that they were treating me as the apprentice, but I think it's hard to promote in place
Mm,
because I still think a lot of people still kind of view you as, oh, you're just the apprentice,
right.
you know? And so I transferred shops. Like it was super scary, but and it was closer to my house, so I was trying to get closer to my house was my point. But I was like, you know what? I gotta prove to myself that I can make it on my own. And I went to another location at the Bay Bridge, and I like excelled there.
Yes.
It was awesome. I had a supervisor that um, gave me another chance, and gave me all the detailed work that required patience. So I was like, oh, this is cool. I was like, I can do this. And like each like little job turned into a slightly bigger job and a slightly bigger job. And then I slowly like just build up my confidence that kind of way.
I love it.
And then I realized I was like, oh, I can do this now. I was like, this is me doing this, not like somebody else.
Was there, do you have a moment, like, do you feel like there was a moment when that light bulb went off, when you had that, like, oh, this is me doing this?
Yeah, I think it's when I was working on this. It was like an old international like 10-yard dump truck.
Okay.
Like it was pretty big. It was one of the ones where like the tire like went to like here to me. So, and it had like a Cummins like N14 engine, like a pretty big engine.
Okay.
Usually ours are like smaller diesel engines. Um, but the injectors were bad. And I ended up having to replace the injectors, but to replace the injectors, it's like three separate um sections. So you had to take them off individually and then take the rockers off and then time it and then put the injectors. Like it was like a massive project and no one at the shop has ever worked on one.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, hey, have you guys done this? No. I was like, hey, have you done this before? No. So I
Uh,
found the
so you were
instructions.
forced to rely on yourself.
I was, but I'm a very good resourcer. Like if I might not remember everything, but I can figure out where to find information at that I need. And I was able to find the information and do it like step by step, and it turned out like pretty good. Like I was pretty amazed. I was like, nothing bent, no push rods broke, like no injectors were stuck open, all the wires are there.
Nice.
So
So that was your moment. I love it.
yeah,
That's a good one.
it was pretty cool. It was cool.
So it sounds like you've been very fortunate and had some incredible mentors in like each place that you've been at, really. Do you
Yeah.
seek that out, or did you just kind of fall into some amazing mentors? Do you think you played a role in creating those relationships?
Oh, 100%. I played a role in that. I mean, I'm like a big believer in treating people with respect. Um, like I want to treat people the way I want to be treated, and I think especially in the industry, that's not the case, especially like old school mentality. And I was like, that's just not my speed. Like, I'm not going to participate in it. Um, I mean, no. Um, but I think I just attract people like that. Like, I have this like personality where people just like me. Like, people like talking to me. Like, I think they feel like this weird calmness and like they'll tell me things that they won't tell anybody else. And I'm like, okay. But it's definitely building the relationships. And I think naturally I seek people that are driven. Like, I want to be more driven and I want to succeed and I want to surround myself with people that want the same thing. And if they don't, I'm still going to root for them and cheer them on along the way until they figure out that they should do that too.
I love it. So what do you think has been career wise your biggest challenge or biggest struggle?
Um, I think like for sure it's like definitely different being a woman in this industry, navigating it. It's like super lonely at times. I think for me it's just like picking your battles, like yeah, everything's not going to be fair, but is that really something I got to bring up right now? Like, is that gonna affect me? It might affect me in this moment, but is it gonna affect me long term? Because I'm gonna be over here and they're still gonna be down here. So I think that's one kind of thing I've learned how to navigate that. Um, but I think the biggest thing though was like finding my voice and like believing in myself. That was so hard. But I definitely think like going to Phoenix did this like weird thing to me. Like it gave me all this like crazy confidence. Like it was so cool. And it's definitely made me more open-minded for things.
In what way? What do you mean open-minded?
Um, like more open-minded to opportunities.
Ah, okay.
Like instead of saying like, oh no, that's not for me, or oh no, I can't do that. I'm like, we'll see what happens. Like it sounds just like kind of interesting. I'll go try it and see if I like it. I mean, I'm not gonna know if I don't try
That's awesome.
it.
I remember when, and I hope I'm not gonna say too much, but I remember when you first started coming out that you were kind of struggling at the shop, and you were kind of not sure how things were going and how you felt about things and whether you wanted to do something different. And then at some point things shifted and you're like, things are going really great at work.
Yeah,
What was the shift that was it
I think
was it you or was it something at work that shifted that changed that energy for you?
I think it was a combination of both. Um, like I think like as a lead worker, it's almost like a step into management, right? And like leading people.
Yeah.
And I think men lead people very differently than women lead men or people in general,
Hmm.
And then I kind of observed how you would lead the build. And oh, I'm like, you don't have to be like a douchebag to lead people. I was like, oh, okay.
Well,
Now you
that's
don't
good
have to,
to hear. I'm glad.
no, no,
I'm glad I wasn't being a douchebag. That's awesome. Good.
no, no, never.
Amazing. Was so
Um,
was that had what had been modeled for you really like by the male leadership that you'd experienced or
well, it was because the advice I've gotten promoting has been like, you got to be really strong with your answers. You have to be sure of yourself. You have to show that you know what you're talking about, that you're in charge. Um, like a demeanor that's not me naturally. Um, so not that I tried to copy that, but I was like, this isn't working for me. Like, I'm not, I'm, I don't feel great doing this. And this is definitely not working for everybody here at the shop. So I kind of adjusted my tune to more to me, and it definitely like worked out. Like it, it was interesting. Like we have these safety needs all the time, and I kind of had this heart to heart with everybody. And I was like, hey, I'm here. My job is here is to support you. Like whatever you need from me, I can support you. If that's anywhere from holding a flashlight or helping you diagnose something, or you just want a second opinion, like I am here for you. If you need a tool that we don't have, I will get it for you. And so I kind of changed my tone like that. And like my actions were speaking louder than what I was saying. like I would be out there with them when we had cleanup days. Like I would be out there pushing brooms, dumping out trash. Like I think they thought I was in this new position and I had something over them.
Mm.
And like that wasn't the case. It's like we're all a team. Like I'm all about teamwork and I want to help you succeed because when you succeed, I succeed and we all succeed. Like teamwork is a dream work. That is my favorite motto. Like
It's so cliche, but it's such a good one, right? Like it's
it
cliche for a
is.
reason because it's so true.
Oh my God. I wanted to make a banner at work with like all the guys and like their characteristics, like little characters and like what they enjoy doing outside of work. I was like, that's not.
I love it though. I mean, it sounds like from the stories that you told me and kind of filling in blanks for people who are listening at home, like it really it sounded to me and sounds still to me like they were threatened at first. Like they were like, who is this chick coming in? She's going to be our boss now. This is right. And kind of either jealous or intimidated or whatever those threatened, whatever it was. And then by you kind of level setting like that, you put them at ease and got them bought in to you being there in that position.
Yeah, and because these were all new techs, new to Caltrans, new to the state. So I didn't like you ask anyone at Caltrans, and they all had like nothing but good things to say about me.
That's
And
got
these guys didn't know me, and like I can understand how there was that disconnect with that.
yeah.
Um, but it was good. Like my supervisor is amazing. He's like this young kid that I was worried about, but he's really like had my back through this whole thing, and wanted to see me and find my voice and like I can now take charge in the shop, but not in a way that he does, but in my own kind of way. And I get like the respect from not just him, but from all like the operators and everyone there now.
That makes my heart so happy to hear. I
Yeah.
am so thrilled to see you finding that space, and it shows on you. It truly does.
Oh,
Um,
thank you.
that confidence and that happiness that like you're at peace in a different way than when I first met you, and it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, thank you. But I definitely want to get more into like leadership. Like that's kind of
Doing
something. Huh?
it. You're doing it. It's happening.
I, yeah, but I definitely want to like I don't know get more into it. Like it really intrigues me. Like I want to lead people and show them that I'm there to support them and to make them better, you know? And if I end up like becoming a supervisor and running the shop and I've made that technician better and they decide to leave because it's better for them, like I have no hard feelings, you know? I'm so glad that I could just be part of their life and like encourage them.
You are already doing that.
Thank you.
You are well on your way. I love it. Okay, so we're like 10 minutes
Oh,
left
snap.
already. I know. I don't know how that happened. And we haven't even talked about teaching because
Oh, yeah.
somehow through all of this, you're also finding time to teach.
Yeah, I taught my first class in the summer, an AC class, which took a lot of talking from Laura and Mr. Locke. Um, but teaching is definitely like way harder than I thought it would be.
In what
Like
way?
it's just
Talk
there's
about
so much preparation. Like you literally have to build that class yourself.
it. Okay.
Like all the content is from you. Like, and they no longer have textbooks.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like you create all this material. You create your own homework.
no
You create your own
textbook.
tests. No, no. But you get information from textbooks that you pick out, which is like the best stuff.
That's interesting. Is that like school wide at the school that you're
I think
teaching?
it's
You want to tell people where you're at?
yeah, Contra Costa College. I think it's more just so it's more accessible to people. So the cost of textbooks isn't there.
Ah,
So more people can access programs that they wouldn't necessarily be able to, which
okay.
is cool. Like it's super awesome.
Okay.
I'm going for it.
But you're pulling stuff from textbooks regardless and being able to
Yeah,
share
yeah,
them. Okay. Okay. So
yeah.
it's not like total free for all.
No, but it's like you can build your class however you want to,
Wow.
which is kind of fun. It's super fun. It's like creative. But when you also are working full time, is very difficult.
Yeah, I see. I'm assuming it's your wife commenting. Late nights of building Google Sheets and Google
Oh my God,
Pages.
yes, without my wife, oh my gosh. If we can make it through that, we can make it through anything. Or like proofreading my Google slides. Ah,
Because that's like a
it was
whole
amazing.
nother skill set, right? Like, I mean, there's being a tech, there's
Yeah,
working on things, then there's this whole other skill set called leadership, and now there's this whole other skill set called teaching, and now like an entirely different one called building a curriculum. Like that's
yeah,
huge.
it is. And it's like all these soft skills that like luckily I was still going to school part-time. So I still want to go get my bachelor's someday.
Okay, wait. That's right. I forgot about this. Okay, so teaching for the first time, you're building curriculum for the first time, you're in a position of leadership at your job for the first time, and you're taking classes to get a degree.
To transfer, yeah. For a leadership program.
How are you still alive?
I know. Well, I wasn't going to school, I was teaching.
Okay.
But I only had like a month to prepare when
Gosh.
my classes ended in June, I think, into May.
How did you balance all of that?
I don't know, but it was a lot.
And
It,
come down to the builds like 4 times.
yeah. Did I do that when I was teaching? I did that when I was done teaching,
You're
I
okay.
think.
But
Yeah.
nonetheless, oh my goodness. That is like I I thought I was crazy. I'm like I may be doing one thing for like ridiculous hours, but it's just one thing. You were doing like 15,000 different things and stretching yourself in so many ways. You must
Yeah,
be incredibly proud of yourself. You should be incredibly proud of yourself.
I am. I'm super proud. Like that was really scary for me to teach. Like it was um something like I totally never thought of. Although someone suggested it, like, oh, you can also do teaching. I was like, what? No. Be in front of a class, like telling people like what to do. No, no. But it worked out pretty good though. Like I another opportunity, I gained confidence. So
Wasn't as scary as you thought it was going to be once you did it, right?
it definitely wasn't, but it was so much work. So I don't know. It was fun though. I enjoyed it though. I enjoyed interacting with the students. I it was hard though because I think teaching your first semester, it's like you want to show them that you know things, but then you end up doing it yourself and they're not doing it. I'm like, oh, this isn't
Interesting.
working. Yeah. It was definitely like I learned a lot from teaching. Just and the labs were really difficult for me to not to come up with things, well, come up with things, but also to manage 27 students.
I can imagine.
Like, and we don't have equipment for 27 students to do the same thing.
Ah, so you were having
So,
real creative.
yeah, and I'm not, well, before I wasn't good at pivoting,
At what?
like, like pivoting.
Ah,
And so everything I do, I like take a lot of thought to it and I'm like organized. I'm like, okay, this has to be this go, this go, this go, especially if it's something I'm nervous about having done for the first time. And this, yeah, like I had to figure something out when the AC machines didn't work. Like we had to move on, you know? Um, but I got through it. It wasn't super bad. It wasn't horrible. Um, and I hope the
I
students
love
enjoyed
your. It wasn't super bad or horrible.
it. No. Um,
Would you do it
but
again?
I I probably would. I'm not gonna say never. Um, but I think right now what I want to focus on is I definitely want to get my bachelor's in leadership, and I'm just not sure if I can go to school and teach again.
Mm,
Like it was just a lot. I just found myself getting pulled in so many directions, like
yeah.
not. having enough energy for like things that kind of drove me creatively. Like it was a lot going on.
Yeah.
So, but I would definitely give it another go.
That is it is a huge amount to take on all at once, especially all of the firsts, right? Like,
Yeah, but it definitely like made me fearless. Like any new opportunity that comes up, now I'm like, yeah, let's try. See what
maybe
happens.
just not all at the same time.
No, no, no. Pace myself next time.
So how much more school do you have for your leadership degree?
I have to take two more classes so I can
Oh, that's
transfer.
oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, and then I can transfer. Humboldt State has this cool leadership program that's
Okay.
online. That's I think like a year and a half or something. Um,
Okay. So you have
but
two left and then a whole new program.
yeah,
Okay.
so I'm kind of excited for that. And
So,
but I learned so much stuff like going back to school again. Like especially now that I'm older, I appreciate it more.
mhm.
I appreciate it, and it's so much harder. But like when I was younger, there's no way I cared about school. Like I was just going through the motions because that's what I thought I had to do. But it's so much different now that I have this like kind of career path in my head that I want to pursue. It makes it so much less bearable. And then if I always look at it like every class I take, even if it's a class I have no interest in, I always get something out of it. Like I took a humanities class. That was actually really good. I really enjoyed it. But I learned how to do Google Slides. I never did those, and it worked out when I taught.
See? I love that. I could not agree more. I think there's something very valuable about taking time between high school and college, or getting some real world experience so that you're in a position that you're in where it's like, I'm doing it because I want to be doing it. You're going to get the most out of every class you take.
Yeah, and now I actually have the time and the resource. I'm not in this like struggle mode anymore. Like I gotta figure out my life. I gotta get my career going. It's like I'm finally in a place where I can kind of make decisions that I want to make. I don't have to make them, and that's a really amazing feeling to get in that position.
So there's a comment here that I have to share with you. I just want to make sure that you're seeing it, that says Mr. Locke said he's proud of you.
Oh, I love that guy. That's so cool.
It sounds like you've got a lot of folks that are proud of you, and I am one of them. So,
Oh,
um,
thank you.
we are over our hour already. My
Oh
God,
no,
I know it's 7 o'clock, or whatever time it is in your time zone. It's 7 o'clock for
six
me.
o'clock.
Um, but so we have to wrap this. But I do want to kind of final question. Is the question that I always like to end on is if you had the opportunity to talk to the younger you or another little Monica out there who wants to do what you're doing, what are your words of advice?
Um, just go ahead and do it. Like if you find an opportunity, and even if it's a small opportunity, you don't think you're qualified, you don't think you have this certificate, just go for it anyway. And you'll be amazed at what you're actually capable of. And like when you try and you put your best foot forward, like how many people respond to that and like want to see you do good. And just be fearless. Don't be afraid to fail. Like I understood that like when I was younger, like, oh, okay, failing, yeah, that's failing's good, right? But it's like back in the day I couldn't think that. Like, but failing is okay. Like it's a process. At least if you're failing, you're doing something. If you're too worried about failing, you're not gonna do anything. And just get out there, figure out what you want to do, go network out there and find someone that you see doing something that you might potentially want to do. And that's why I think these happy hours are so great because I think it shows women in the industry where I never had anyone that was a heavy duty mechanic I knew. But I like your little slogan, she can see it, she can do it. Like, firm believer in that.
I love it. Well, cheers to you, my dear.
Yes.
Cheers to going out and making opportunities for yourself, being fearless, doing it anyway, and here's to failing and learning from it and moving forward and always on to the next bigger, better. I'm excited to see where the rest of your career takes you. I know that it is only going up from here.
Oh my God, me too. I'm so excited.
Yay, I love that. You're adorable. Thank you so, so very much for joining me and spending an hour with me. Your wife is so cute. I'm not crying.
Oh my gosh.
I love it. And here's to amazing support systems and great mentors. You've had been so fortunate not only to have so many, but to create so many great mentoring relationships in your life. And now to be able to be a mentor to others. And to everyone out there, like, I hope you hear this and I hope you see how important good mentorship is and good mentors are in the career paths of young people coming up. And if there's a new guy or gal at work, like, take them under your wing. Be willing to share your secrets with them and help encourage them and believe in them. As Monica said, believe in them when they don't believe in themselves. So thank you so much, Monica, for joining and hanging out with me for an hour. I got to learn lots more about you. I am, as always, incredibly proud and even more proud of you now and learning more about you. So thank you for spending this time and sharing your story with everybody. Everybody at home, thank you guys so much for hanging out, joining and tuning in to Trades Lady Happy Hour. As always, this will live on forevermore on my IGTV tab, along with all of the past episodes. If you're ever needing any inspiration, make sure to go check out some of the past episodes and rewatch this one, and come back next week, of course, to meet another incredible tradeswoman. And again, I've got to thank my sponsor and partner on this, Drive Time, for their commitment to supporting women in the trades by supporting this happy hour. And of course, I have to thank each and every one of you for tuning in, coming back each and every week to meet all of these incredible women. So thank you all. Until next time, be good to yourselves, be good to one another.